I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to NNSCRA TV's coverage of qualifying here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the first race of the second half of the regular season, the portion of the season we call the chase towards the chase for the championship. Now tomorrow night will be the longest race of the season, the Coca-Cola 600, the last of the 4 crown jewel races on the season. Give these drivers a little bit of an idea of what to expect tomorrow evening. We've got nighttime qualifying here this Saturday night. 43 drivers will attempt to qualify. 42 will make the show. 1 driver will be going home. 2 groups here in the first round. Top 5 from both groups will move on to the Fast 10 to run for the pole position in the final round of qualifying. Coming off our all-star race break at the Atlanta Motor Speedway last week. Great racing there, setting us up now for this home stretch to the playoffs. Opportunity for drivers and teams to go through a point of evaluation on what's happened in the first 13 races. For some, they're looking to keep up the consistency. For others, they're looking to put themselves maybe into wild card spots, and for others, they're looking to just try and get their season up off the ground. Destin Bolin was the first one out onto the racetrack. We're following him right now. Destin right now showing in 3rd on the speed charts. His lap time starting to cycle in. Destin coming into this race 9th in overall points, right now in a playoff position. Still looking for that first win on the season, though. It was around this time that Destin was in the middle of what was his 3 wins in 5 races stretch. Got Keith Batson right behind him, Caleb Vogler as well. Keith Batson coming into this one 27th in points. Kind of an up and down has Keith in the top 20 to top 30. Looking to be one of those drivers that's able to hit a consistent streak here in the second half, get up into the top 10 in points, or at least get a victory or 2 to put himself in a wild card spot. Caleb Vogler has already been to victory lane this season. And right now, well, I was going to say, is top of the board. He just got topped by another driver. 30.909 right now for Caleb Vogler has him 2nd on the speed charts. Caleb gained 10 spots in the standings last week at Chicagoland, up to 14th in points. So he's right now in the 3rd wild card spot, but if he continues on the consistency he's had ever since his victory, Vogler could very easily be up inside of the top 10 and not have to worry about wins to get into the playoffs. James Qualls right now clocking in his first lap of the session. Qualls coming into this one in 8th. Been a bit of a downward trend for James Qualls lately. He was up in 4th, 5th in the standings for a good portion of the first half of the regular season, but now finds himself only 7 points ahead of 10th in the standings cut line, so looking to get that consistent streak back. Will Goss, been an incredible rookie season for him. The victory at North Wilkesboro, he's 6th in overall points. Looking for a second victory. Young Motorsports overall has looked really good. They had a good showing with all 4 of their cars in the All-Star race last week. All 4 of them up in the conversation at one point or another. It's like Will's coming to pit road. Anthony McCrory lost 7 spots in the standings last time out at Chicagoland. I can't say last week because it was 2 weeks ago. With the book ending of the All-Star race weekend, Anthony comes into this one 19th in points. The Mazdas look pretty decent though at Atlanta, and I know that it's an entirely different racetrack. Atlanta, more kind of super speedway type physics, higher speeds. It is a D-shaped mile and a half though, and Charlotte's a D-shaped mile and a half, so I don't know if you can look at the successes of last week and translate them over to this week, but we'll wait and see. Top of the board right now is the driver we're focused on, Austin LaPlante. Number 48, LaPlante. Currently situated 5th in overall points. Been looking really good this year. Still looking for that first victory on the season, but been very consistent. Maybe. First half of the regular season was where they concentrated on points. Second half is where they concentrate on wins. So far, the organization itself only has 1 victory this year with Connor Breton at Texas. Reese Banks did not reach the conclusion of the All-Star race last week, unfortunately. Had a mechanical problem. He's 8th on the board here, though, at Charlotte. Reach right now in that crucial 10th position in overall points. He's only 3 points ahead of the next competitor, which would be a former winner on the season and a former Coke 600 winner, by the way, Levi McIntyre. And there is the aforementioned Levi McIntyre on pit road, Benjamin Miles, Destin Bolin also on pit lane. There's Rob Evans, 10th on the board right now for 2nd in the standings. Rob's still looking for that first career victory, but he's been very consistent. He's been in a good tussle with Casey Hoyt for the points lead in the first 13 races, and 21 points back behind Casey Hoyt coming into this one is Rob. Reggie Fogelman, just outside of the top 10 in points. Former winner back in season 5. Right now he's 11th on the board. 12th in overall standings, 5 points below the 10th in the standings cut line. Benjamin Miles 3rd on the board, came down for a little bit more adjustments, so a few of the Northeast Motorsports cars up there inside of the top 5. In overall speed, there is a guy that's had a lot of speed lately. Go back about 3 weeks ago to Darlington. Dylan Pote picking up his first win on the season, and then last week in the All-Star race, dominating performance in the second half of that event. Dylan Pote picking up that victory, so a couple of checkered flags under his belt. 1 points race, 1 non-points race, and a lot of momentum coming here into Charlotte. Pote as well, with that victory at Darlington, has now put himself up in the conversation for the points lead. He's only 32 points back. It was really a 3-horse race for most of the first half of the regular season with Hoyt, Evans, and Turner, but now Pote has put his name into that conversation. Cole Deaver right behind him. Been very good in qualifying so far this season. Right now 6th on the board, just on the outside of transferring into the Fast 10 with a little less than 2 minutes remaining. Cole Deaver coming into this one situated in the 21st position in points. Levi McIntyre just now coming out onto the racetrack again. 20th on the board for the former Coke 600 winner. 11th in overall points, 3 points below 10th in the standings cut line. Right now in the second wild card spot is Levi. Jesse Turner and his teammate Casey Hoyt, couple of Lake Effect Autosports cars right behind him. Turner right now 7th on the board at a 30.867 Casey Hoyt, your points leader, two-time winner on the season, currently second on the board, 30.643. Matthew Rodriguez in the 80, one of the three non-charter cars attempted to qualify this week. The two-time winner dropped 5 spots in the standings after he failed to qualify at Chicagoland. And I'm sorry, he didn't fail to qualify. He finished poorly at Chicagoland. My mistake. He DNQ'd, I believe it was at Darlington. Rodriguez, 18th in points right now in that first wild card seed, has to remain the top 30 in points, and he is kind of the benchmark right now for the other two non-charter drivers that we'll see in the second group, Kyler Sustre and Jack Mitchell. They're going to have to beat a 30.078. Rodriguez right now, 16th on the board. I'm not sure that's going to do it. Rodriguez could be in danger of missing yet another race. RJ Bishop right now, 13th in the 98. RJ coming into this one 31st in points. Dropped 11 spots in the standings. That was most of any driver last time out at Chicagoland. Next highest dropper in the standings was Charles Sanford, dropped 10 spots down to 29th, and we'll see him in the second group here in round 1. Dylan Young, 16th on the board right now, as zeros around the clock. LaPlante sitting on pit road, and I believe he is going to be the fastest here in the first group over Casey Hoyt, Benjamin Miles, Anthony McCurry, and Mitchell Collins. Those will be the Fast Five that will move on to the final round of qualifying. A couple of drivers out of the Northeast Motorsports stable, one out of Fortnite Squad Racing, one out of Lake Effect Autosport, and one out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Red flag has been displayed. Times have now ceased. And we'll show you the lap times laid down here in Group 1 of Round 1. We gave you your Fast Five that will be moving on to run for the pole position. LaPlante, Hoyt, Miles, McCurry, and Collins. Cole Deaver will start 11th tomorrow evening. Jesse Turner will be 13th. Reese Banks 15th. 17th, Caleb Vogler, and 19th, Rob Evans. Some big names going to be starting towards the back of the pack tomorrow night. Michael Norman back there, Levi McIntyre, James Qualls, and Dylan Poteet. Man, I saw a lot of momentum on the side of that team, and they were 0.4 of a second off of the next car. Most drivers ran in the mid-30s to low 31s. Poteet ran in the mid-31s, so they may have missed the mark a bit there in qualifying for that car. And he's going to have a lot of traffic to have to pass tomorrow evening, so we'll keep an eye on that one. But that's going to do it for the first round of the first group of the first round of qualifying. We still got another 21 drivers to qualify and figure out where they're going to be positioned for tomorrow night's Coke 600. So after this commercial break, we'll be right back for the continuation of qualifying here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. Group number 2 ready to head out onto the racetrack here at Charlotte. We've got 2 drivers that will be attempting to top the 30.078 lap time set down by Matthew Rodriguez in order to make their way into the show. If both drivers, that being Kyler Sustre and Jack Mitchell, are able to beat the lap time, Rodriguez will miss out. If both drivers fail to beat the lap time set down by Rodriguez, then the highest of the 2 non-charter cars here in speeds in this second group will move on. And if only one driver manages to beat Rodriguez's lap time, then the one that failed to beat it would miss the show. We're looking at Quentin Moore out onto the racetrack here. Clean racetrack all to himself. Quentin Moore still searching for that first top 10 on the season. He is now the only driver that has not scored a top 10 so far here in Season 7 of the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. Joshua Osborne ended up getting his first top 10 last week. Well, not last week, but 2 weeks ago at Chicagoland. That's Quentin Moore, 31.625, first lap time that he puts down. Those lap times will get quicker as drivers get into the draft. I talked about the different agendas for drivers here in the second half of the regular season. There's a few drivers that are looking to just get back into the top 30 in points with victories. Connor Breton would be one of those drivers. Rookie winner at Texas, but he is 38th in overall points right now. He is 32 points below 30th in the standings cut line. So he's got that checkered flag, his first win of his Duracell Cup Series career, but he is not even eligible for a wild card position in the playoffs as things stand right now. Needs to get himself back up in the top 30 to even be eligible for a wild card position. Another driver that also needs to get back into the top 30, needs to get into the top 30 is Jessica Shelton. She, of course, won the Chicagoland race on that amazing fuel strategy call. She's been mired down in the points. She's 36th in standings coming into this evening's festivities, a total of 19 points below the cut line. So definitely within striking distance to get into the top 30 and be in a wild card spot herself. Nick Gunther, he's looked good the last couple of weeks, also looked good in the All-Star race, but he's another driver that has struggled at the very beginning of the season. Four-time winner last year. This year comes into the midway portion of the season, 37th in points, only one top 10 to his credit. But we mentioned Mazda appears to be trending upward with both Gunther and McCrory. We'll see if Nick Gunther might be able to get something done tomorrow night. Daniel Voiles in the 26, two-time winner last season. This season, still looking for that first victory, but 23rd in points. Had a good run at Chicagoland, gained 8 spots in the standings. The biggest problem for Voiles last year was not finding victory lane, but it was the consistency being up in the point standings. He was outside the top 30 in points at the conclusion of the regular season, so his win at North Wilkesboro then did not count him towards a playoff spot. Zachary Fitzwater, he's been up and down here this season. Had the victory at Mid-Ohio, then found himself outside the top 30 in points, then found himself back inside the top 30 in points. Last time out at Chicagoland, though, he gained 10 spots and is up to 16th in the overall standings. So right now he would sit in the third wild card position as far as the playoffs are concerned, but he wants more. He wants to get back up in the top 10 in the point standings. Right now 8th on the board for the number 66. Jose Mills, most winningest driver in the Duracell Cup Series, 24th in overall points coming into this one. Mills only one top 5 and 2 top 10s on the season. He's seen some success for his teammate Caleb Fogler. We'll see if they can roll that over to the 38 car. Right now he's second on the board, so he's in line to maybe move on to the next round of qualifying. We'll have to wait and see. Kyle Matthews right now in that critical 5th position on the speed charts at a 30.805. Former champion. Kyle Matthews coming to this one 40th in overall points. So that team really needs to start picking it up here as Charles Sanford leads this group of 4. The defending champion right now 16th on the board. Charles Sanford coming to this one 29th in points. We documented back during the first group. Sanford lost the second most positions last week, or last time out at Chicagoland, minus 10 from 19th to 29th. Matt Haas right now 7th on the board in his Toyota Camry. Matt Haas coming into this one 33rd in points. Remember, a season ago, Matt Haas failed to qualify into the playoffs, even though he was top 10 in overall points, because he didn't have a victory. Now this season, complete polar opposite. He still doesn't have a victory, but he is struggling in points. We'll see if that team can pick things up here in the second half of the regular season. And Ryan Brummer might have been the hottest driver, besides Dylan Poteet, down the home stretch of the first half of the regular season. Ryan Brummer was struggling to stay up in the top 20 in points. He failed to qualify at Mid-Ohio because he was so far down in owner points. But now he starts off the second half of this regular season 13th in the overall standings after great runs at both Darlington and Chicagoland. He gained 12 spots in the standings at Chicagoland, so Ryan Brummer, a former champion runner-up, looking really good here at this point in time. Zach Rogers, ninth on the board right now for the Ghost Energy Chevrolet out of Evans Motorsports. Zach Rogers coming into this one 39th in points. There are a lot of big names down there at the bottom of the point standings of the chartered drivers that you gotta wonder if they're gonna get the season turned around starting tomorrow night in the Coke 600. Matt McIntyre 15th on the board right now, 34th in the standings for him. Former champion Chris Dollerton right now 17th on the speed charts, and Dollerton comes into this one 32nd in points. He lost 5 spots in the standings at Chicagoland last week. Carson Gum, another former champion. Right now he is 10th on the leaderboard, and he is 26th in overall points right now coming into this one. Ryan Butcher, right now inside of the top 5 in speeds, 4th on the board at a 30.803. Right now he is I just saw his name and then I lost it. '25th in overall points is Ryan Butcher coming into this one. That was a driver that won his way into the playoffs second half of the regular season last season. Right now, Joshua Osborne is at the top of the board in the 27. There he is at a 30.563. That is much slower speeds here than what we had before. I gotta double check. Maybe I ended up writing the lap time down wrong. I thought Matthew Rodriguez, maybe Matt had a 31.078, and I accidentally wrote down a 30.078. I'm gonna double check on that here when we get to the end of this qualifying session. Right now, 30.563 is the lap time Joshua Osborne has, with Jose Mills, Jack Mitchell, Ryan Butcher, and Kyle Matthews the top 5. It looks like, if indeed it was a 31.078, Matthew Rodriguez, that is going to miss out on the Coke 600 because Mitchell and Sustre are both into the high 30s. Jack Mitchell is about to make his first start on the season. He's attempted to qualify for a couple of races so far this year, the Daytona 500 as well as Darlington. Right now, third on the board in that single car entry out of JM01 Motorsports, and he not only is going to lock himself into the show, he's going to have a chance to run for the pole position here in just a few moments as we're nearing zeros on the clock. Right now, 3 Chevrolets, 1 Toyota, 1 Ford inside of the top 5. There's Kyler Sustre, doing what he needs to do to make the show after he jumped up 6 spots in the standings after Chicagoland. Why was that important? It moved him up to 28th in points. So his win at Las Vegas currently has him in a wild card position. Something you guys will end up seeing after the starting lineups beginning tomorrow night is you'll be seeing what the playoff grid looks like coming into that race with the drivers top 10 in points, the 6 wild card positions as well. Right now, I do believe that 4 of the wild card positions, 5 of the wild card positions are filled with race winners heading into tomorrow night. Matthew Rodriguez with his 2 victories, Levi McIntyre, Caleb Fogler, Zachary Fitzwater, and Kyler Sustre with their 1 wins apiece, which means only 1 driver right now would be able to get a wild card spot on points, and that would be Reggie Fogelman, 12th in overall standings. As zeros on the clock, session is concluded. And your Fast 5 moving on to the final round of qualifying will be Joshua Osborne, Jose Mills, Jack Mitchell, who will make his first points-paying start of the season, Ryan Butcher, and Kyle Matthews. That will be your top 5. I'm going to double-check real quickly here just to see if I ended up writing the lap time down incorrectly. I wrote down a 30.078 for Matthew Rodriguez, but it might have been a 31.078, and it indeed was a 31.078. So that means that Rodriguez will fail to make the show once again. That'll be, I believe, the 4th race that Rodriguez has missed. That will drop him even further in the point standings. Remember, he's got to stay in the top 30 in points for his 2 victories, big victories at both Indianapolis and the Daytona 500 to count towards a playoff spot. But it will be Jack Mitchell and Kyler Sustre, the 2 non-charter drivers that will move on and will be a part of tomorrow night's festivities. Mitchell will get to run for the pole. Some big names down at the bottom of the qualifying results for this one. Charles Sanford, Chris Dollerton, a couple of former champions there. Jessica Shelton coming off her victory in the last points-paying race at Chicagoland. And Nick Gunther, 4-time winner of the season, going to be starting way in the back there. Quentin Moore was the first out on the racetrack. Thought that maybe with clean track he would be able to lay down a good lap time. Not the case, as he's still searching for that first top 10 on the season. But we'll have to wait and see if track position is important in tomorrow night's Coke 600 or not. For the top 10 drivers, the top 5 in each group, they want to start from the inside of the front row. They'll get that opportunity in just a few moments as we take another commercial break, and we'll be back here for the Fast 10 to run for the pole position in the Coke 600 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. 10 drivers getting ready to run for the pole position here in the longest race of the season. Like I said, I'm not certain how important track position really is going to be, especially with the fact that we are potentially going to be having quite a number of green flag pit stops tomorrow night, but you never know. 3 drivers are looking to be the first repeat pole sitter on the year. That'd be Casey Hoyt, Ryan Butcher, and Joshua Osborne. We've seen in the last couple of weeks drivers looking like they were going to be in line to be a repeat pole sitter, and then they get sniped at the very last moments. We'll see if that's going to be the case for any of these 7 drivers so far this year that have not claimed a pole and have a shot for it here this weekend. It's like Jose Mills going to be the first one off of pit road. Austin LaPlante in the first group ended up laying down a 30.564. Joshua Osborne only bettered that in Group 2 by 1,000th at a 5.63. So both those Chevrolets pretty close on speed. We ended up having, if you combined the lap times of the Fast 5 from Group 1 and Group 2, a separation of less than 2.5 tenths from Osborne to Kyle Matthews. Well, with it only being the limited 5-minute session, and you saw quite a bit of time, well, I don't want to say wasted, but a lot of time kind of used up there before Jose Mills even made the move off of pit road. Not going to be a whole lot of time to be able to put down that lap time to get the pole. And how about Jack Mitchell making his first start on the season, the former Duracell Cup Series winner, former playoff contender, making his first start and has a chance to maybe do it from the inside of the front row as Jose Mills clocks in 31.495. Don't think that's going to stand, as I'm seeing a few drivers coming off of pit road, getting some draft potentially from some cars in front. Benjamin Miles behind Casey Hoyt, and I saw Austin LaPlante behind Jack Mitchell. Yeah, this right here is a good positioning for the 48 to try and get his first pole on the year. I think this is going to go at least to the top of the board right now. We'll wait and see if it ends up being the lap time everybody has to beat, 31.248, and indeed, scoring says that is the fastest lap so far. Mitchell right now 4th on the board, 31.579. McCrory at a 31.802 was 5th, dropped to 6th. Mitchell Collins, though, getting some draft off of McCrory, top of the board, 31.117. I have to go back and remember, but I don't think a Michael Norman Motorsports car has a pole yet this year. Nope, my error. Michael Norman has a pole. 2000's quicker that time for Collins, but he dropped to 2nd on the board. Who topped him? It might have been LaPlante, potentially? Yes, it was. 30.987, and right on the back bumper of Jack Mitchell. Austin LaPlante, the fastest in Group 1. And trying to get that pole. Ironically enough, the lap time that he's running right now wouldn't have even put him inside the top 10 for either one of the groups. And Jack Mitchell just went to top of the board, 30.862. With less than a minute remaining. Can Jack Mitchell capture the pole position? If he does, he would be, I believe, the 2nd non-charter driver to get a pole this year. The first was Kyler Sustre. This lap time is going to be important between the 01 and the 48, and they both ran slower. Mitchell still at the top. 8.62 for Mitchell, 9.26 for LaPlante. Benjamin Miles right now in 3rd at a 9.49. Casey Hoyt at a 9.95 in 4th. And Mitchell Collins just broke into the 30s at a 9.98 to move up to 5th. Now with them side by side, there's no way the lap times are going to improve for either one of these drivers. Jack Mitchell just hoping that these last couple of seconds tick away quickly. How about the weekend for Jack Mitchell? If indeed this holds up, making his first start in the season and will do so from the pole position. I think that's all she wrote. The red flag is in the air. Some drivers finishing up lap times, but I don't think anybody's going to touch the 30.8 that Jack Mitchell was able to get. Chevrolet going to sweep the podium, and we'll start from the first 3 spots with Mitchell, LaPlante, and Miles, then a couple of Fords in Hoyt and Collins. What a way to make your season debut, I guess you could say, for Jack Mitchell. As that's right there is what you're going to see coming to the green tomorrow night, side by side on the front row, Mitchell on the bottom and LaPlante on the top. As we're waiting for the session to officially come to a close, and there it is. Jack Mitchell, 30.862. is going to be your pole sitter for tomorrow night's Coca-Cola 600. LaPlante will share the front row with him. They'll be followed by Miles and Hoyt. Another good qualifying effort there for the points leader. Mitchell Collins and Ryan Butcher will be in row 3. Joshua Osborne, Anthony McCurry in row 4. And then Kyle Matthews and Jose Mills will be the completion of the top 10 for tomorrow night's starting lineup. Second non-charter driver to capture a pole position and first start on the season for Jack Mitchell will be from P1. He'll look to finish in that position and capture another Duracell Cup Series victory in his career. But we'll have to wait and see what the longest race of the season has in store tomorrow night. Be sure to join us for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe part of the crew today. I will see you guys tomorrow night for the Coca-Cola 600, the last of the crown jewel races, and the start to the chase towards the chase for the championship. Until then, you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV. Offline racing at its best.